Reality is, the more risk you take, the luckier you get. So people need to learn to take one big risk a day. Every day take a risk and build up that risk muscle, because risk is where success comes.
Risk must be taken for the greatest. Hazard in life is to risk nothing.
Take the biggest fucking risks of your entire life right now. Remember, you have time.
I think that most people, the reason that they lack success in their life is that they lack the courage to make the decisions that need to be made to put them in the position that they want to be in.
You can get so scared, and you can be so easily lulled into the idea that good is good enough, that feeling safe and comfortable is what you should always be looking for. That way of thinking, in your 20s in particular, dead fucking wrong. I want you to start to create this mindset of taking risks and going big.
All right. Welcome to R2R Live, episode number 143, people. Thank you for being here. Happy Monday, by the way. It's just another Monday after the weekend. And we got an episode for you today that I think a lot of people are going to be interested in hearing about. First things first, don't forget, if you're on YouTube, smash the like button, drop a comment, subscribe, post notifications. You know the drill. If you're over on X, you got to follow me on X. The link's in the description of the YouTube video. If you're not following me on X, follow me on X, aka Twitter, aka Freedom of Speech platform. Don't forget, link is in the description. Follow me there, retweet the live stream. All right, show some love. At the end of the day, bro, always remember, I'm not a financial advisor, for damn sure not a professional. This is cryptocurrency. Don't ever allow an influencer on any social media platform out there to influence you when it comes to cryptocurrency, because you could lose it all. All right? You got to do your own damn research. It's required in the space. Okay? It's something you must do. And we're going to talk about the new PulseChain Atropa Web, backed by gold. Is this a scam? Is this an elaborate scam put together? A copycat of Maria. The tranny technology is being utilized. We'll get into that shortly here. Again, don't forget to pound the like button. Just taking a quick look here. May 1st, Gold Pulse will launch its official token. Go. What a bunch of clowns. Who in their right mind thinks anyone is going to want one? Maybe there probably will be people that are going to be a part of this. I heard it was like a sacrifice. Seems silly at the bottom. Like, I don't know. Even at the... These guys already came out and said they would never do something like this, so it's like questionable. Maybe I shouldn't even use the site. PulseChain's at 4 zeros to 307 right now, down today currently. PulseX is down. We're at 4 zeros and a 244. Inc. $1.26. Hex 2 zeros and a 594. I talked about this, on the last stream. Everybody. It's interesting because when Bitcoin, went to 93,000. The bulls were back all over Twitter. Everyone was bullish across the board on PulseChain. I was like, I'm bullish for a couple days, and I'm still at the point where I think it's going to be. You remember Richard Hart said 10K and pray. I'm like 54K and pray eventually coming in before the summer actually kicks off. I'm still in a bearish sentiment, which doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you make money in all the markets provided across the board. Opportunity is there. Today, we're going to talk about, let me bring it up here, index screener. And let me forget the chat. Good morning, play LFG Hex Made. What's up? Members only in the house. I just been buying ETH Zen. Interesting. Yeah, there's I'm hearing it's what is it? X1 coming soon. Pulse Jiu-Jitsu, Faso Duo, he's here for the tech as always. Adrian Kent, thank you for being here this morning. Appreciate whoever's there. Pound the like button, retweet, get the word out. A new ecosystem has arrived, right? Anybody that was involved early in the early days when Atropa surfaced at like its peak interest, where everybody on chain was jumping in and having these conversations back in August of 2023. It was interesting to see the development of the Atropa Web ecosystem happen. It basically layered everything together in one nice like lasagna you know, where we actually got to see quote unquote Hart's law get put to work and actually work and support a massive narrative in the space, which happens to be, drum roll please, right? What did the Atropa ecosystem really boost that did a 10,000x from its bottom was the world's greatest P copy, P die, right? The biggest narrative on all of PulseChain throughout the entire existence of PulseChain. This token was born. It did a whole lot. The Maria, the Atropa developer, put together a liquidity of webbed tokens, LP tokens that were webbed together to help drive the momentum of the narrative and actually the price appreciation of this P copy asset. All right. So interesting turn of events, right? Where Maria is no longer looked at as a benevolent actor in PulseChain. A whole lot has happened. You saw that story develop and saw, what happened. I don't need to get into it, but went from not so benevolent to like, what the hell are you doing? And losing a lot of trust, okay? Long story short, Pump Tires launches from Richard Hart. Maria loses market share trust and dumps the tokens, right? Right now, they're like in a rebuild phase. There's a whole lot linked up to that. And with the PDI narrative, especially after so many narratives have died over and over and over. Pump Tires, though. The thing about Pump Tires is when you launch a token there, right? You launch a Pump Tires token, and the max supply is 1 billion tokens. So Maria wasn't using wasn't creating webs of tokens, token after token, and providing LP and building them together with a max supply of 1 billion tokens. The entire structure of Atropa actually worked much differently. Like there had to be a certain level of trust, right? And that level of trust was understanding Treasury Bill and certain tokens that had mint functions. And we saw Treasury Bill, towards the end, get utilized to mint and bring down the ecosystem. And I guess from Maria's point of view was to save the ecosystem and to prevent the PDI extractor from extracting more value by removing LP and doing what was done. So mint functions, right? Maria had an incredible amount of control, was very benevolent for a long period of time, and we've gained trust around parameters that were like things that you should never trust any developer on any chain for any reason to have the capability to mint at will. So it was interesting how the mint functions weren't utilized in the way that they were structured to be utilized for good or bad up until the very end, right? They were used for different ways of boosting the LP web system, okay? And basically tokens can mint out of thin air. Well, imagine not having that capability and having a Atropa-like ecosystem launched via Pump Tires, because you can't mint. It's you make a token on Pump Tires, it's got 1 billion token max supply. So with that being said, do I think it can replicate what Maria did in the sense of the magnitude and how it drove the price of like PDI and all the assets in the liquidity web? No, I don't think it can. It doesn't have the capabilities of the human touch that was required to manipulate the prices, okay? For the simple fact that every token that will launch in this Mona Lisa ecosystem, this new web via Pump Tires, there's not going to be any human manipulation other than, being able to pump the back, being able to pair them up, pump the price if you got the dry powder on the side to do so, dump it if you have a lot of the supply, Be benevolent if you have a lot of the supply being in early, but we're going to take a look under the hood. I want to look at it not from my point of view, where when I first saw this, I was like, all right, I'll buy a little, right? I want to look at it showing you how I approach things, and I want you to view it from that approach, and you make a decision on like, okay, is this a safe bet? Can this replicate the Atropa Web, which I'm just telling you right now? And you can go shout out to Dirty Crypto. I'm gonna throw him under the bus here, not throw him under the bus, but just kind of show he is a part of this movement, right? Got a lot of people excited about, breaking news, the Mona Lisa architecture, most likely built by the creator of Teddy, another token launched on Pump Tires to replace the Maria Teddy. So there's a big dispute between the real Teddy and the Teddy and Pump Tires, like which one's going to be the one. Obviously, the Moon Kings, Ian and B Roots, no longer support Maria, P-Dye, the original teddy bear, or any of the Atropa ecosystem. They are going with the Teddy via Pump Tires, right? So you have Dirty Crypto with the education. You have B Roots and Ian backing it, saying it's going to the moon. We're early callers, however you want to call it. It's building up hype, right? A lot of verbiage that's interesting too. Omega liquidity bonding architecture, Mona Lisa Mooney, right? Pump Tires, Tires Creator Wallet, Pump Tires Creator Wallet. It's insane. A lot of digging, a lot of new buzz terms. Now we have the backed by gold, right? That's XAUT token. Take a look at that token in a bit. It's basically tethered gold, right? This ecosystem is going to be backed by gold. There's a lot of things happening in the background as far as these LPs and other tokens, and we'll jump into those tokens as well. But Dirty Crypto has put together the all the concepts, all the information, showing you all the visuals. It's getting a lot of hype right now, okay? And you know that it can't be minted. So people are going to like that right away, that it doesn't have that manipulation factor of minting. But the people that were in early with the Atropa ecosystem and saw a success understand the value that having a benevolent creator of a token with the mint function and how it was utilized early on for a long time before that trust was actually broken, how it moved the prices, and how being early in that web and building a strong foundation with Atropa early on made you the most money. So right away when I saw this developing, and I was really early with this, and I was really early with Atropa, I go, why would somebody on Pump Tires try to replicate Maria? I was like, well, the second wave opportunity, right? A lot of people were not early with Maria's tokens and the LP webs. A lot of people were late and missed all those gains. In addition to that, they don't understand the functions that Maria had access to drive price appreciation and to create that web and how to utilize it effectively to help not only PDI, but all the tokens and LP grow across the board. And those are a lot of trust factors that are just like mega no-nos in crypto. So it was a huge gamble. Now the way this is structured, when you got the Omega liquidity bonding architecture, it's got its own verbiage now. And it's backed by gold. So you have these new buzz terms. Will it be the new meta? Who knows? I'm gonna jump into the tokenomics and what's going on under the hood. But I want to say one thing here. PulseChain has never seemed more desperate, in my honest opinion, for a narrative to be born to make money like I'm seeing today. And it's like a second wave opportunity for individuals, in my opinion, to back a new ecosystem like this. They didn't get into Atropa early on, or did get into Atropa early on, and want to piggyback off that tech, whatever you want to call it, LP webbing, Hart's Law, and replicate the gains they got being in early as well. Who could do that more than anybody? B Roots and Ian, obviously. Who's got the followers to drive that? They do, obviously. So they can push this far. Dirty's kind of like doing the dirty work in the background. He's going and putting together the literature, the omega liquidity bonding, all those things you hear backed by gold, the information you need, right? And giving you every piece of, what you'd call evidence or literature to piece things together. So now it has a new narrative was born, a new ecosystem was born. So if I look at this at a fresh pair of eyes, and I go, well, from the common knowledge that you could get from DexScreener, the average user is going to have these tools at their fingertips. You're going to be able to see it released 16 days ago, 16 hours ago. When something launches on Pump Tires, anybody can launch a token. A good person, a bad person, doesn't matter what nature you are, what your intentions are. You can launch a token. The max supply will be 1 billion tokens. No ands, ifs, or buts. I click here, top traders, and I want to see, what's been extracted. What purpose do the early investors or the creators or whatever you want to call the founders, like, I hate the fact that people are calling anyone that creates a token on Pump Tires developers, like the dev. You don't have to be a developer to one-click create a token, okay? Like that literature, that verbiage has to like come to an end. These people that make tokens on Pump Tires are not developers. It's a one-click button, cost you peanuts, you create a token out of thin air. Great. Now we got that out of the way, right? If you come here on DexScreener, not that the data is 100% accurate, but it's close. You'll see top traders, right? You see all these wallets that bought no tokens, but sold. So when you start to look here, and let me increase this for you to take a look. You start to think, and you start to put together these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wallets bought no tokens. The number one wallet sold 8,800, 3,300, 3,000, 2,500, 1,800, 1,700, right? That's probably the person that created the token, created it. There was hype around it, right? People saw things happening in the background early on. So the LP webs took advantage of not needing to sell anything, minted their own token out of thin air. People had interest and was able to extract value, right? Look at 10.3 million tokens, 7.4 million just sold. Didn't need to buy any, had access to tokens, airdrop sent to themselves, the person who created it, all there, right? Then you have the people who got it, early. They got in early. Saw it on Pump Tires, knew the person who was creating it. Maybe it's the person creating it too. $148 bought, $1,800 sold. $1,000 turned into $2,500. $127 turned into $1,500. You have all these, and you have this wallet here, bought nothing, made $1,000. So you see a lot of early entries, pretty good gains. You see a lot of wallets that bought no tokens. There was a massive amount of wallets that extracted quite a bit of volume. The thing that they're linking up to right now, as I investigated through Dirty Crypto's post, right? This wallet, the creator of this token, they were like, he has $700,000 in LP and, provided all this LP and $260,000 of posts sitting around that we know of. You can see via this post 4 hours ago, right? Cool. They also made a lot of money out of thin air too. The evidence is all there, and you can verify it on chain, right? I'm just looking at it like this and going, the number one wallet here is the top trader. No tokens bought, sold, made $8,000. So let me grab that wallet look at its transactions and start seeing the sell-off here, right? Well, let me look at that wallet on chain. And I understand you can't use DBank, right? Like DBank is not available, but there's other apps, and you can still look at DBank to see, right? And I'm going to pull up a website here so that we can take a look at this wallet right now. But I'm also going to plug it into DBank also and see what we can see on DBank, since now PulseChain is no longer supported. It's interesting, right? It looks like, from what I'm seeing and from what I've researched, the creator of this token has not just been sitting around. He has created other tokens out there and has been extracting. Has been pretty much a bad actor in a lot of different tokens. And running with this narrative, I don't know if it's like an influencer or who it is, but let's take a look at this address. It was the top seller wallet that we were just looking at here, right? So we're going from here and we're jumping on DBank, where we can't see the pulse, right? We can't see what's going on in PulseChain. But we see this, like, what, 14,000 in Ethereum, Superverse is 1,700. So we're looking at the most capital this wallet has, who's the top trader, bought no tokens, but made $8,800. Transactions 4 hours ago show that this person bridged from PulseChain $14,000 to Ethereum. Another one 15 hours ago, it's $200, not a lot, right? And I'm looking at this wallet, I'm going, okay, well, he left. He made that money on Mooney without having to buy any tokens. Didn't even stay on PulseChain, just left, right? And remember the new narrative, it's backed by gold, right? So I'm like, does this wallet have any relationship to this Tether gold? So I was looking for that too, to see, like, you know, is this the case here? Does this person have any relationship to that? And I started looking at other wallets. So I was digging deep. So, you know, as you can see, I'm taking a look here. And I find it interesting that that person who bought no tokens extracted the $8,800 and then just like left the chain, right? The more you dig, and I'm doing homework for you, what you're going to need to look for when you look at that top wallet, I just showed you how to find it, is where it initially received funds from as well. You know, from a Coinbase, where it's sending this ETH. Follow the addresses, follow the trail, right? These people are trying to hide their tracks as best as they can, right? By sending and receiving from different wallets. I can see right here the deposit to a Coinbase, right? This person is not like, it's not going to be very good at hiding its tracks. They could try, but you can start following, and let me go back here and see anything as far as send and receive, right? You can see all that here. So you want to look at those details, but let's go back, right? Because this is showing you how to begin your journey of looking at the evidence that's on chain for you. So let's look at like the biggest extractor, number 2, $3,300. Bought no tokens, sold this amount. Okay, cool. This happened one day, 23 hours ago. It looks like they're selling like towards the, not even the top, right? They could have sold higher. Well, let's get that wallet address and plug it in. And when I'm looking at these wallets, right, I want to see what I can dig up. And that's what I've been looking at. Like I go to that wallet here and the money's gone, right? We go look at the transactions and I'm like, okay, can I find anything about this gold? I see he made money, left the chain, like cool, like whatever. And I started to notice a lot of these addresses with different send and receive addresses, and I started digging, and I did find some holders of this gold, right? This tether gold. I'll show you the chart right now. I'm like, but over here with nothing is following 3 people. So I found these addresses and I started looking at them. So like, there's a lot of homework for you to do and to see. And I'm like, this has nothing in it, no transactions, but it has 92 followers. Like, there is always a trail everywhere you go. Okay. That's how far like you can get with looking here with just basic information. Now, that's looking at just the first 2 extractors. As you go in, you're going to be able to see more and more. Let me get into the chat. Make sure I don't leave the chat here. See who's talking here. What's up? How's it going? Luna C Point. Will this new Atropa crap have another stablecoin experiment? I don't know. Ruck, do you hold the Dragon X still? We don't talk about that token. Sounds like just buy the real gold. Yeah, just buy gold. Yo, it's by Coach X Deb, super secret spy. He created our ATR try. He created ATR votes, TTRS, Pika, all reward coins he made on Pulse. He extracted all tokens, and they're all under $500 market cap. Be careful. Oh, Coach, what a concept, right? I don't trust people. You shouldn't trust people. Like, why? You know why you get scammed is because like there's so much trust in the space. You can only be betrayed by people that you trust. The more people you trust, the more betrayal that'll happen in your life. If you trust nobody, you can't be betrayed, right? When it comes to cryptocurrency, it's interesting too. So let's go take a look. We'll dig a little bit deeper to Dirty's tweet here. Get your fun facts from Dirty Crypto about this new ecosystem. There's the Zero token, the Frank token, Emerald token. This is the web. These are the web tokens here. So we'll plug them in. Take a look at the web, right? Just look at the basic stuff you can see. And I think there's enough, for you to dig to start to see the light. And I to me, it's like, oh man, like somebody took a very complex concept of a liquidity web that was put a lot of detailed work by Maria and applied it to pump tires in a very simple fashion, but it was able to cook up the narrative with a few influencers. One that's, Dirty Crypto. No offense to him. He's on Twitter. He's not so much like B Roots or Ian. He's got the Twitter messages. But 2 influencers are pushing it. I think it's best practices to show everything though, right? Like we do this, we do a little deep dive, not too deep. Here's one of the tokens that's part of the LP. Let's see what the top traders looks like. Let's see what the extractor was like on this token. This token was 8 days ago, right? These are early investors, $312, sold 4,262. This person obviously was in the know or had a bot, whatever you want to call it. Bot no tokens, extracted 2,300. Bot no tokens, extracted 1,800. You want to go through these wallets and see where did they get these free tokens from? The dev wallet is what they would call it, right? Even though they're not devs. All the information you can see. And there's only $44,000 in liquidity. So it's not going to take much to move the prices of any of these assets. So they're going to gain momentum pretty quick for having no LP. Basically, you're going to see influencers go online and be like, it's up 2,000x. And you go, the LP's like 12K. That kind of stuff does get under my skin when I see that. I'm like, bro, there's like no liquidity. But at the beginning, every token has a beginning, right? Low LP, you name it. Here's another token, Frank Free Gold. Take a look here. Yeah, yeah, this is interesting. These are like thousands of dollars for spending no money. And you got to connect the dots. Are all these wallets connected? It's likely. It's likely. Not all the data is correct when you look at DexGrader, right? But you can just click here and just have a glimpse at, this person. How did he receive these tokens? Let's take the top wallet here, right? Just on this free gold token that we just clicked on. Let's plug it into it's not like DBank. It'll take a little bit of getting used to, right? And we're going to go here and take a look at this wallet on PulseWatch and see if we can get a visual. If it's going to work for me. Let's see if it'll work for me. Take a look here. $28. So the number one trader of the Frank free gold token bought no tokens, so $3,800. You go to their wallet, it has 28 bucks. Is that because they left the chain? Like it's signed a transaction. This person's pretty active right now. Let's see if they have any DBank activity in Ethereum. Right? Look at this. You go to this wallet here, and where did the money go? Is it still in PulseChain? Not that I can see on Pulse Tracker. It still might be on PulseChain. Let me take a look at the address on the block explorer for PulseChain, right? I hate the PulseChain block explorer, by the way. Let's see if it gives us information of where some of that money might be sitting at this point. Any of it. It's not a lot, right? I wish Richard Hart would have made one that was like bitchin' awesome, but it's not. Well, maybe we'll get one he buys that's expensive and good, but till then, this is what we have. Definitely not sitting in Pulse. That's for sure, right? So it looks like, well, let's go grab another address from Dirty. None of this is specified in the tweets or the Schiller's channels. Nothing. So people are getting their hands on a lot of money. And I think any token you look at would have something like that, but it's definitely interesting. Look at this. Top 6 traders bought no tokens. Sold. These are a lot of extraction wallets, value. And you got to go on the chain and look, right? You click here. Let's go pull up this wallet on Block Explorer, PulseChain. We don't like it. It's like, whatever. Okay, cool. Let me see if I can get something on PulseWatch. Take a look here. See what's on and popping over here. I think this is like the same one with the 28 bucks, is it? Might be. No, it actually just has $28, so it left the building. Let's go look at it in DBank. Go look at the transactions. Oh, bridge the money from Pulse back to ETH, 19 Gs. A straight extractor. So this person bought none of the tokens, extracted all that money from on the PulseChain side and bridged it over to ETH. And it looks like it's sent to this wallet here, I believe. And now this wallet sits at $48,000. And this wallet will probably have funds received from multiple wallets or the same one. And it's leaving to its centralized exchange here back in March. So this person has a history of, let's see, pulling from PulseChain. We'll see if there's any evidence of that. It goes far back. I don't see like anything being bridged over. But what we can see in its latest and greatest movement from what we saw sent from the other wallet, it's extracted from one wallet, sending here, And then this wallet operates with a centralized entity, sent to Gemini, 10.7 ETH. So is it just me or something's not adding up here? These people, known as the top traders in this ecosystem, are straight up extracted with no bot tokens. And if you look at the second one here, sold the very top, $2 million. That's kind of weird. What are the intentions here? Well, I think it's good to look at this and speculate, right? It doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't sound good. What looks good on paper, though? What looks good in the form of entertainment context in a tweet or a live stream? Somebody showing the ecosystem. The new golden narrative. That this is, in fact, an Atropa ecosystem that you can be early in on, right? And it's backed by Tether Gold from Ethereum. That is going to be the key selling point that is going to, in my opinion, at this point in PulseChain, as we get closer to which I believe the bottoms will be in soon, right? Soon enough. I think we're going to, go down a little bit. PulseChain is basically at its bottom. It could get a little worse. That's fine. I'm like, why not just buy Pulse and PulseX, EHEX, and HEX? Why risk it in these Atropa copies? It's not like a true Atropa copy. Like, you got to understand it. Maria did what Maria did with the capability of doing anything via minting, moving tokens around, owning the massive amount of the supply. You want to take a look at some really bad distribution of a token, right? I expect the people that are talking about these tokens, in all honesty, to point stuff out like this, because it's not good. You go and you see Omega liquidity bonding. You see all these new buzzwords. And then you look at the distribution of tokens, and it's completely set up, or you can't call it set up. It's where it's at, whether it's by design or because a lot of people got in early. So much of the supply is owned by larger wallets. Let's just take a look. One wallet owns 9% of the supply. Let's say that person's benevolent. Okay, cool. Second largest wallet, 4.7% of the supply. Oh, let's call him benevolent because they're going to come up with a story. Oh, it's benevolent. It's benevolent. It's benevolent. That's all you're going to hear. It's benevolent. It's benevolent. It's doing this. Let's just go down to a random wallet that has 1.96% of the supply. Okay? He has 19.6 million of this Mooney token. What is that going to cost you to have that position right now? $22,000. If you want half of that, let's call it 8.5. Let's just call it 9 million tokens would be half, right? It's not exact, right? But it costs you $10,000 just to have half that person's stack. Okay? Just to have half of that person's stack. If I plug in their address, let's see how early they even got that stack, at what price. So you're paying you can be paying a premium on this person's entry. This person, right, for that amount of tokens, let me plug it back in. Let me plug back in the number of tokens that this wallet has right here, the 19 million tokens. That'll cost you $22,644 for this position that this person bought right here. Bada bing, bada boom for $400. For $400. Okay? in addition to that, that's just a random wallet with this amount. There's still 20 million, 21 million, 21, 23, 25. Even if you go down here, this person with 13 million, right? So you're going to pay a premium to have the bags of people that got in so freaking early to something that is not like looking like there was good actors at the very beginning, to be honest with you. You can go see it. It's all there, right? And this person here, I can't look at the data to even see in and with they bought tokens. They may have just received an airdrop. That's wallet ending in D3, DD3. So as a top trader wallet, let's see if DD3 sold any or just received tokens. Because if they sold some, you might be able to see wallet ending in DD3 here. And the trust to think that it's somebody that bought the tokens or just received an airdrop is not there for me. Seeing all the wallets that we've looked at that have extracted and received tokens and never bought any. So I'm having a hard time being sold on this. Again, we're looking at this with a fresh set of eyes. This looks like a very elaborate way to piggyback on Atropa to extract off of people that are going to be wanting a secondary phase or a wave of events to make money again on an ecosystem that's similar on a trusted Pump Tires website. When in fact, it cannot be replicated because of the amount of control this person doesn't have with mint functions and moving tokens around and how much of the supply is owned by other users. That wouldn't have been able to be accomplished by Maria if all the users owned most of the supply. It's interesting to see how these narratives go this far, and I'm interested to see how much further they're going to take it. All it takes is a few influencers, right? But your job is to question them. Your job is to go out there and be like, hey, I saw this. What's going on? Challenge these people. Or you can smash a retweet and be like, oh, I got it early, and it's early. And history is going to continue to repeat itself on PulseChain, where people are going to get extracted from over and over again because it's a desperate time where we're like, we need something big, right? We need a fix. We're like down on SAC, like, and the vulnerable people are out there, and I don't see any evidence of the early adopters of this token, that these tokens in this web, that even bought early. They just got airdropped or had these tokens out of thin air. Tons of wallets on each of these tokens that we have gotten via Dirty Crypto's post here. We haven't even looked at Emerald yet. We want to look at Emerald, right? It's not looking good if you look at that. But there's some work put in. And if you want to make the most money in cryptocurrency and you want to get people to pump your bags or your bag to pump and it to be a big come up, you got to put in the work, right? You put in that work, you're gonna be pretty happy about it. So let's take a look here at this Emerald token. We'll look at the top traders. Bought $9,579 worth of tokens, sold $48K. 585 sold 5K, 786 4,500, 3,300 6,100, 346 bucks 2,500. Bought no tokens 1,900, no tokens 1,800, no tokens 1,800. How old is this token? 6 days ago. Let's take a look at this wallet here that did buy and sell, right? And what they made. And we can just go and debake, and I can guess right off the bat. Oh, let me guess. Based off the history that we saw already on the previous wallets we looked at, probably sold and went and bridged to Ethereum or bridged out of PulseChain. But we'll take a look for shits and giggles and see if that money is still. Let me get the Pulse Watch app out. And this is just a little digging. This is not going into like I don't need to go very far in this entire web. I don't need to. I'm already turned off from the data collected that the early on people that are most likely affiliated with it have completely extracted and left the chain. There's it's as clear as day. So let's take a look here. Let's see if I got this wallet. Yeah, this wallet here. We plug it into DBank. Let's see if it's got money just chilling where it's at. $934. Is a $9,000 still on PulseChain? Let me go pull up another app really quick. Plug it in. And I think I could see up-to-date transactions here on this wallet. Let me see. I'm not entirely sure. Sign a transaction. So there may be something to this wallet that is not operating like a normal wallet. So I want to make sure that I got the right address here. And if not, we can look at the data from a secondary holder or buyer, an extractor, early investor, whatever you want to call them, and see what their wallet holds. I think everything is in relation to one another. So we went and grabbed this wallet here, right? These people are what they would call in the know, are very lucky to get in, right? In the know, are very lucky to get in. And this wallet shows no data for me either. I wish DBank worked for PulseChain still. It's just a damn shame, right? It's just a damn shame, bro, that no longer works. But I can see the activity of this wallet right here. 13 hours ago, selling zero token for Pulse. So not only is it showing evidence of selling this token here, which is Emerald, dump the hell out of Emerald, but also dumping another LP token, being a top trader, like a Mooney. Yeah. Somebody is trying to extract value from PulseChain and from users. I've come to that conclusion very quickly. It saddens me that it's not an innovative web of liquidity. What's going to happen is people are going to they can push this further, right? But it ultimately will have a collapse because it doesn't show that there is actually a force behind it like Maria that's going to drive it, other than the momentum of shills, and buzz terms. That narrative is going to sink in with people. That narrative about this right here being backed by real gold, people are going to chew that up, right? It'll go up. People can make gains and be happy. But ultimately, you don't have Maria. You don't have a big brain putting this together. A person with a big brain wouldn't even be using pump tires for this. If they wanted to be benevolent, they would do it behind the scenes. People would discover it and see and identify the things that would be being done that are similar to Atropa, maybe with the twist, maybe better. And it would be like, oh, I found this in the background. It's not something where you can replicate Atropa via pump tires. This is a meme LP web. And it's the first of its kind. So I'm like, if you can call it a scam after all the things I've said and I'm showing you, right? You look at these just small minor details, you don't have to go that much further in. You don't, right? You don't have to go that much further in down the rabbit hole. It's not adding up. And the thing that people will jump to, the conclusion that people want to jump to, and I was reading on Dirty Crypto, shout out to him, is people are linking it to like the teddy bear creator. It's got a big narrative now, teddy bear. It's backed by B Roots. And a lot of people that are being accused of dumping on their subscribers that, all this stuff. Like, I don't know about any of that. I don't care either, to be honest with you. That's just what's being told. But look at this. There is an insane whale on PulseChain with 700,000 in LP created the first ever Atropa level liquidity web via pump tires. Is Maria behind it? That was the first catch. That was the lure. Thrown into the lake. Is it Maria? Question mark. And then you did, and you see the tomfoolery. And I don't think many people are going to watch this live stream. Maybe some of you will. Some of you will be like, oh, no, I'm still going in. It's early, right? Like, no doubt about it. Money can be made. All you need is believers, and you can make money. All you need is believers, and you can make money. That's all. If you got in early in this, you're Gucci, because it's just going to need to continue to lure more people in, and more believers, and you're good. I'm not denying that part of this aspect of what's being created. So I'm just saying, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to watch. And it's all happening like towards the bottom. Sacrifices are happening. And this shit now. It's crazy. Anyways, you guys can jump down that rabbit hole, do the information. I just went like basic level data that you can see. And just at that like entry level, it's a turnoff to me. And there's more wallets sitting dormant that can dump on your heads. A lot more. So before you go and listen to me or anyone else that's an influencer, you don't need to look at that stuff. You don't need to be hooked like a fish backed by gold, Omega liquidity bonds, 700K whale, all that bullshit. Just go look at what's on chain. The common sense feature of blockchain is what happens on chain and what you can pull up. And when you can see the things that are happening on every single token that is part of that web that happened early on, you can see there was early extractions and there's big enough wallets that were in early that didn't even buy tokens and have yet to sell yet that can sell at new price levels. For some reason on PulseChain, people like to be extracted on them. And regardless if you tell them, you just get hated. So this is just to show you to go make up your own mind on how you can figure this out. There's more to it. We can do a round 2 advanced deep dive. But I mean, at the entry level, it doesn't take a genius to start to see the picture here. It doesn't. It's just the truth. And I think there's people who see second chance opportunity that promoted Atropa early on. They are going to ride the second wave on this with their star power and influence on the chain. They'll make money again, hand over fist. And there's people who missed out on Atropa early who just want it that bad. They want to be early, and I want to be in that position. And I don't blame them. And they're going to push that narrative down everyone's throat too. But just take a look at what's on chain. You don't have to believe what anybody says, what anybody posts. You can see it for yourself. Until next time, we'll do it again. Yeah, dog.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Crypto talk with Thomas G. Yeah, dog. Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including heat. Yeah, dog. Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including got me on Navex and bought me some Joe. Farming go crazy, you know how it goes. Zuby on Phantom, I got a few notes. Sticking my Rex, you know I'm gon' hold. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Crypto talk with Thomas G. Yeah, dog. Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including heat. Yeah, dog. Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around.